courtesy of the red, white, and blue.
It's time for Veterans Issues, the show that brings you information about veterans, military, and their family. Now here's your host, Ken Rollins.
Welcome to Veterans Issues. Ken Rollins here. Today's guest, you're going to see him here in December. Everybody's been looking for him. He's Santa Claus. Stay where you are. We're going to talk to Santa when you come back. Welcome back to Veterans Issue. Appreciate you tuning in this week, getting up here in the wintertime. And we finally seen some rain here in northeast Alabama. Everybody ought to be happy about that today. Before we get started, I want to send the prayers up to the people up in Gatlinburg that's going through the fires up there and all that great thing. As we're coming on the set today, there was worried about Dollywood, the aquarium, and other places up there, but mainly the lives of the people that live in that area, and we appreciate you keeping them in the prayers. Welcome to the show there, Santa Claus.
Hello, Ken.
How about a ho-ho? That's it. That's what I wanted to hear. All the kiddies out there that 35 and above, all them kids watching us, welcome back to the show. And every year you get to come around here and do this. You don't ever come in June.
Well, we do, but we're not dressed as Santa. And, of course, with being so busy with so many kids, just unbelievable amount of toys wanting to be asked for and made. And it's just something that's ongoing 12 months a year. It'd be nice if we had a couple extra months, but...
Wouldn't it, though? No, I don't know. It's when tax time comes around too quick as it is. Let's see. Santa Claus is a very patriotic person, and Santa, you served in the military, didn't you?
Yes, sir, I did. I served in the Navy.
That? In the Navy?
Yes, sir. And
when was that?
From 1961 to 66.
Yeah, I went in 61 in the Army, and I rode a ship to Vietnam from San Francisco. 28 days out there on that water.
Yes, sir.
Nothing but iron and water. and you know, there was 5,000 of us on that ship. And when somebody would spot a whale on this side, the captain would holler at us because we'd have the ship, a huge ship. We'd have it listing to the side. Everybody wanted to go over and see the whale, you know.
Oh, yeah, the ballast.
Yeah.
That's critical to a ship.
Oh, boy,
and, it's just something that
we didn't get much entertainment, so that was, you get a little bit tired of just the water. And you guys, I don't know how you did it. You're talking about busy now. As you see the things we got here on the table, you and Mrs. Claus, you make you do wood carvings, and do you do anything besides wood carving? Or any other kind of crafts?
Well, I do a little gold panning from time to time. It's been a little rough on me the last couple of years, but with this drought being the way it is, it opens up areas that normally you can't get to. So the gold panners are out there checking these places out.
You ever go down to Clay County?
I do. I've been down there with some children and helped them do some sluicing and panning and getting muddy and wet, and we had a ball. It was a lot of fun.
I don't know if you saw my track chair that I've got that's like a bulldozer got the traction.
Yes.
A friend of mine's wanting to go panning with him down there. He's got a track chair that goes out like that, and I really want to do it because one of my favorite TV shows other than Veterans Issues is Gold Rush.
Mm-hmm.
I like to watch those guys, and a lot of drama goes on there that
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I just like to see if they're going to get the gold and how they go about it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, it's very expensive for them people and a tremendous amount of work. 14, 16 hours a day is not uncommon because you only have so many summer days and then you're done.
Well, they, like you said, they're an industrial complex now. They started off with a pan. Now they've grown to where it really takes a lot of the stuff that fellas like me out there, the dip a pan in and screen it and see a little nugget in there or something would be. Now it's if they don't get $3 million worth, it's a bad season. But these are some of the things that you got. Now I've got your phone number up here. Somebody wanted any of these carving. Anything in particular? These over here, what do you call those?
Well, these are just Old World Santas out of Cypress knees.
Out of Cypress?
Yeah, these ones here. Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
these are,
We're
Yeah,
making so much noise here, the sound people.
oh,
gonna-
drives you nuts, doesn't
Sound
it?
people's going.
And the other ones are very, like this is just a Santa that you put up on a hearth or a shelf someplace to decorate. And this is one of the wise men that we do.
And this,
Oh, yes,
I've got one of these,
you do. You
Yeah.
sure do.
and if you can see that out there, that is gets more attention. I could walk in with the real Elvis Presley and not get as much attention. I got it. I've went into Cracker Barrel, and young ladies would take their cameras. Would take their cameras and take pictures of the eagle, and I'm saying, what about me? But they just want to take it. But these, you can make these for someone too if they want.
Yeah, we've backed off of them for a little while, Ken,
Yeah.
to see if we can get some more twisted wood. That seems to be a big thing now, is people buying the twisted wood and they make some sort of a cane or a walking stick out of it. And every once in a while we run across somebody that'll let us have one. So that makes it nice. And of course we make another cane out.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of pleasure when you see the smile on a veteran's face when they get one. And it's just something that,
Yeah,
When
there's
we
a guy that's been on my show several times, Hillman Prestige, World War II veteran.
Yes, sir.
Battled, not the battle, but landed at Normandy, Utah Beach. And he goes some of the same places I go, and they say, I've seen that cane before, but he was a smaller fella, Yeah, so that's Hillman. He's down at Pell City, the Colonel Robert L. Howard Veterans Home now.
right.
So,
Oh, he loves it.
yeah, and
he-
that's...
He's happy there.
But this is you're real busy this time of the year, you and Ms. Claus, and you go out. If they call this phone number, you can go to their events, come to people's events. Are you pretty well booked up? Do you have openings?
We have a few openings, and about the best thing you can do is call the number. I think you'll post on the screen and talk with Mrs. Claus and try to work out a date. But the old saying, the early bird gets the worm.
Yeah.
And that's the way, like we're booked already this year for next year
Yeah.
for Christmas Eve and Christmas. And it's
That's
just,
optimistic.
oh yeah.
When you're booking for next year, I don't even buy green bananas. You know what I'm talking about there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I tell you, we have a lot of folks that's worked with us for the last 6, 7, 8 years, and it's good to see their children grow.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you see children from year to year that come out? You see the same children and recognize them from the year before?
Oh yes, yes.
Really?
A young man that we had done foster homes for, this young man, he was in it from a very early age, and last year he come walking across the gym floor, and I noticed him. Walked up there on the stage, and he says, Sam, I bet you don't know who I am. I said, I bet I do. He said, well, I just couldn't go a year without sitting on your lap. And I said, well, come over here and sit down, son. And he says, well, I'm 18 now. He says, I'm on my own. He says, I got me a nice little place to live, and I got a job, and I'm going to school. I said, well, you're a busy young man. He said, young man there? He said, yes. He said, it's something I need to do and get it out of the way. I said, well, that's good thinking. And of course, everybody's taking pictures of you.
Yeah. I can
So,
imagine.
you know,
Well, I want to talk more about that because there's some things I want to ask you about because we got to go to a break and I don't want to get started and something have to cut it off. So let's go to a break. Come back. We're going to talk more with Santa Claus, and I wish we could have a call in so you could tell us what you want. We'll be right back. Stay where you are. Welcome back to Veterans Issues. Caught me adjusting my glasses there. Got to be pretty. We're talking with Santa Claus today, and we were talking about the kid, the little 18, the boy that grew up. But when you see during the years when they have trends, the little girl wanted the Barbie and the little boy wanted the G.I. Joe. What are they asking for this year? Do you have one common?
there's one of the biggest ones, Legos.
Lego.
That is just unbelievably huge. Bicycles, so they can have and of course little girls, a lot of them don't want a tricycle, they want a bicycle. They want to be able to ride and pester their brothers and stuff. That's a biggie. But also one of the things that the little girls want. They still want that doll. They still want the playhouse and the tea sets. And for Dad and Mom to join them for tea at their playhouse. And that's a biggie.
I can imagine. I had something in my pocket there. The little boys want bicycles. I would have thought you would have told me there's something to do with electronics, that they wanted something high tech.
Oh, yes. I was trying to not get on to that one. Electronics is, the word huge just doesn't cover it.
Yeah.
That's how big it is. And of course the kids, they don't look at the money aspect of it. They look at it as something they see on TV and other kids have it and playing it and stuff. So I always tell them when they ask for something like that, I said, well, let me check with your mom and dad. Oh, I said, have you told your mom and dad? No. I said, well, maybe you want to talk that over with your mom and dad before I meet with them. And they'll finally agree. So, okay, I'll do that, because there's a lot of homes that can't afford these $300, $400, $500 electronics things.
Unless you are a floor manager like Jason here, got loads of money, and they got kids, little kids.
That is true.
And they need to know from us that he can afford to go to Best Buy and get all those things that we need to do. But you know, I told somebody the other day, you know what an Etch-a-Sketch is?
Yeah.
I said, we were so poor that I had a hand-me-down Etch-a-Sketch that only had one knob.
Oh, yeah.
Mama would say, that's a nice line, son. You could go one way. Now, I had this conversation yesterday with my daughter, who's over 30. She don't tell how old, but she's saying, what y'all get for Christmas? I said, maybe sometime an apple, an orange. She said, well, you could go to the store and get that. I said, well, you didn't have the money. She said, for an apple? I said, yeah. And I said, sometimes I get a pair of socks, but they've probably been worn when they came down from the Salvation Army or something. She couldn't believe it. You just, a big deal was to get an apple or an orange, and that was peppermint stick, one of them big hard.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. If you got a peppermint stick and broke it in half, split it with your brothers, whatever. It was, that was a big thing for Christmas. When you was on here last time, I asked you about something come to your memory about a child that gave you, you asked them what they wanted for Christmas. They gave you a sad story. You told me something then. It really moved me to what the kid had said. Do you have any more like that? To get any sad things that they tell you?
Oh, we do. There's a family at the court. Of course, the mom and dad is in jail, drugs. But the three boys, they have a safe home locally, and to get them to just take care of themselves, to take a shower, brush their teeth. They didn't know anything about it. Mm-hmm. How to wash your clothes and wear clean clothes. And
about how old were they?
14 to 10. Mm. And the 14-year-old, he's pretty hard nut to crack. But mainly because he's had nothing to compare with. All he's known is his mom and dad and drugs and the police coming to their house and everything. So that's been pretty tough, but we pray for them. Of course, we pray for all of them. And just something that, especially during this time of year, Ken, that it cuts so deep when you see this. And when somebody tells you that they've never had a Christmas tree, mm-hmm. It makes you think way back when we were young kids, and we would go cut one down mm-hmm. in the woods and bring it home. They haven't even done that. So it's hurtful for not only for us, but for the children, because their life has been molded by their mom and dad. One thing I'd like to inject here about mom and dad, Ken, what the law can do to them here on earth is nothing compared to what the Father's going to do in heaven. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be nice.
Absolutely. Well, that I saw somebody said the other day that I don't know if it was on television. I saw where one Santa's helper said one little boy asked him. He said, "What would you like to have?" And he said, "Just pray for my mom and daddy." And you never know. Some kids are overt and they'll talk. Others are, you never know what's going through the minds of these little fellows when they, and so this time of the year, that's the reason I'll talk about Toys for Tots here in a little while.
Oh, yeah.
I've been a part of that. I've been able to see the smile on their faces and things to think. In this day and time, especially with peer pressure, even at our church, we have boxes that these kids from another church up in Kentucky, they sent their list with a picture of themselves and what they'd like to have for Christmas, and each member of the church gets to fill a box and things like that. And you think about it, this may be the only Christmas. We used to do it at the depot. It was the only Christmas these people have.
Yeah.
Is what some organization gets together for them. And if you can teach your kids that it's the giving part is the best part of Christmas. If you can let them be a part of giving, and I know
Yes.
that to be true.
Oh, yes. We share with a lot of young boys and girls the Secret Santa. And we share with them that there might be some boy or girl in their class or their neighborhood that may not be getting anything. Doesn't have to be anything big. It could just be a big plate full of Christmas cookies, homemade Christmas cookies or something like that. But you wrap it all up nice and pretty, and you put a card in there from your Secret Santa. And they have no idea who it is, and you definitely don't say anything about it. That's between you and your mom and dad and the good Lord, because He knows, the Father knows, that you've done this for them children. And
Well, I know for a fact that Santa don't do texting, he don't do emails, he don't do Facebook. But how does he get the request? How do you get the request to Santa?
Ken, it's the old-fashioned way.
This.
The mighty pen and paper. They get their mom and dad to help them, or if they're old enough to write down what they want, and just put it in an envelope, Santa Claus North Pole, put a stamp on it and mail it. But getting into this time of the year where we're almost in December and the post office is being swarmed with things, I tell them it takes at least 4 days to get to me. They mail it on a Monday, I get it Saturday morning. And then they unload the trucks and just hundreds upon hundreds of elves start sorting. And it's done by state, by county, all in that way, and that way we can keep things straight. But yeah, you got to write. You got to sit down and write. And once again this year, Ken, we have put the crown on cookies as the chocolate chip cookie. And I've been known to partake in a
big
few.
shirts that you get. Yeah. Well, we've run out of time, so Santa. I gotta tell you, I appreciate you coming by here this year, and we got to quit meeting like this once a year. We'll just go out for lunch sometime during the summer. But I do appreciate it, and look in the camera too there, and give everybody a Merry Christmas.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas, everybody. Don't forget to share your love with families and one person that just might need an extra hug. Hugs are free. Ho, 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 ho.
We got to go to a break. Come back. I want to talk to you some about the Toys for Tots and other things. Be right back. Welcome back to Veterans Issues, and I appreciate Santa coming on doing the show today. And I want you to get your pen handy, because I tell you, you have to have that. Some people was asking me when the show airs, and I finally got those dates, and this is on Cable One here. Wednesdays at 11:30, and again at 5 p.m. Thursdays at 3:30 p.m. Fridays at 9 a.m. and again at 4:30 p.m. Saturdays at 12:30 p.m. and again on Mondays at 7 a.m. Boy, I'm on television a lot there. That's good. Can't get too much Veterans Issues. I got a note here that Mike Abrams sent me about the wreaths across McClellan. It's called Wreath Across America, and I've got an application, but I'm not going to ask you to try to read this on TV, but you got my information here on the screen that tells you how to get in touch. If you'll do that, if you'd like to get a wreath, it's got the prices and all that thing you want to do. It's a big deal. It goes across the nation, but they do it out here at McClellan, and they put them on the graves out there, and it's an awesome deal. You can participate in that, and I would appreciate if you'd give me a call, and I'll give you the information on how to do that. And I mentioned Toys for Tots. As far as putting in an application right now, I just want to give them credit. I think we run up there close to the thing. But if you've got something you want to get involved with the Toys for Tots, got some toys you want to help out on, here's a phone number. It's 256-310-6481. 256-310-6481. That's Dan Long with the Marine Corps League. And they can tell you how you can help the Toys for Tots. I'm going to tell you, that really goes to a lot of the, it goes directly to the children. If you have a power chair that you're not any longer using and it still works, I got veterans that need them that are not eligible for them through the VA, but need a wheelchair to get around the streets and visit their neighbor. Let's see here. I gave you the address of the parking, but somebody called me last week, a fella, and he was on his cell phone, and he was in Birmingham. He did not know the address of the parking deck over there. So let me give this to you again. 2415 2415 7th Avenue South, and the hearing clinic's there also. So if you're looking for it on your GPS, you're not going to find it probably, but it's 24, you get off on 22nd, it's 2 streets over. So it's 2415 7th Avenue South. The Choice Program, you hear a lot about the Choice Program for your eyewear, your hearing aids and things like that. If you deal with the Choice people over in Birmingham, you can get that done locally in a lot of cases. And I've had it, I'm a recipient of that. So for eyewear and things like that, that your service connected. So if you got a disability and you ask for the Choice Program people over there at the VA, and they'll help you out on that. I want to remind you, coming up on the end of the year, that law enforcement tag, when you get ready to renew your tag, ask for the law enforcement tag. It's a little bit extra, but what it does, it shows that you honoring all law enforcement who died in the line of duty. And it's got a shield on it with a rose through it, and that's the national symbol of a fallen officer. So look at the law enforcement tag, and the revenue from that tag helps us with the memorials up in Anniston, and a portion of it goes on up to the one in Washington, D.C. Let's see, I got to figure out here, they're going to tell me, cut me off here in a minute. I want to, this week's salute, I want it to go out to the Marine Corps League, the Alan Ray Chafin Detachment, the Toys for Tots. They do that, and that's a great thing to do. And so call that number I gave you to, and we'll see you next week here on Veterans Issues. Salute, we're gone.